The rain pounded relentlessly against the cracked pavement of the dimly lit alleyway in downtown Chicago, turning the world into a blurred mosaic of grays and blacks. It was one of those late autumn evenings where the cold seeped into your bones like an uninvited guest, and the wind howled through the narrow streets like a mournful cry. Amidst this dreary symphony, a small figure huddled under a tattered cardboard box, his thin frame shivering as he clutched a crumpled paper bag, the last remnants of his day's scavenging. 10-year-old Alex Rivera, with his mop of unruly dark hair matted by the downpour and his wide brown eyes reflecting a quiet resilience, peered out into the storm. His stomach growled fiercely, a reminder that this soggy sandwich was all that stood between him and another hungry night. But then, from the shadows, emerged a disheveled man in an oversized coat, stumbling as if the weight of the world had finally broken him. The stranger's face was hidden under a hood, but his eyes sharp, haunted met Alex's. Without a second thought, Alex tore the sandwich in half, the bread squishing under his fingers, and extended it toward the man. "Here, mister," he said softly, his voice barely audible over the rain's roar. "You look like you need it more than me." The man hesitated, his gloved hand trembling as he accepted the offering, the simple act of kindness piercing through the veil of his isolation. Little did Alex know, this stranger was Elias Harrington, the reclusive billionaire whose empire spanned continents, a man who had everything yet felt nothing until this moment. Days later, that single gesture would unravel secrets, bridge worlds, and forever alter the course of their lives. As the rain continued its assault, Alex watched the man devour the half sandwich with a hunger that seemed deeper than physical. The alley smelled of wet asphalt and distant garbage, mingling with the faint, comforting aroma of the peanut butter from the meal. Alex's own half sat uneaten in his lap. He had lied it was his last meal, scavenged from a dumpster behind a diner where his mother worked endless shifts. But seeing the man's hollow cheeks and the way his shoulders slumped under invisible burdens, Alex couldn't bear to keep it all. "What's your name?" Alex asked, wiping rain from his face with a sleeve that was more holes than fabric. The man paused, swallowing hard, his voice gravelly and unused. "Just call me Eli," he muttered, avoiding eye contact. In truth, Elias Harrington hadn't spoken to anyone without an agenda in years. His life was a fortress of boardrooms and private jets, insulated from the raw humanity before him. But here, stripped of his armor by a personal crisis that had driven him to wander the streets incognito, he felt exposed. The boy's kindness was a spark in the darkness, igniting memories long buried of his own childhood poverty before fortune twisted his path. Alex shifted under his makeshift shelter, the cardboard sagging under the water's weight. Threatening to collapse, he thought of his mother, Maria, who would be home soon from her waitressing job. Exhausted and worried about him, they lived in a cramped one-room apartment above a noisy laundromat, where the hum of machines lulled them to sleep each night. Money was always tight, Maria's wages barely covered rent, and Alex often skipped meals to ensure she ate. "My mom says sharing makes the world go round," Alex continued, trying to fill the silence. Eli nodded faintly. The sandwich's simple flavors, stale bread, cheap jam evoking a nostalgia he hadn't allowed himself in decades. As he finished, he reached into his pocket, pulling out a crumpled $20 bill. But Alex shook his head. "Nah, it's okay. Just pay it forward someday." The words hung in the air like a promise, and Eli slipped away into the night, his mind reeling, back in his penthouse that evening, surrounded by opulent silence, broken only by the tick of a grandfather clock. Elias couldn't shake the encounter. He stared at his reflection in the floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the glittering skyline, seeing not the powerful tycoon, but a broken man. His wife had died 5 years ago in a car accident, leaving him to raise their twin daughters alone, Sophia and Isabella, now 8 years old, shielded in luxury but starved of genuine connection. Elias had become a ghost in his own home, delegating their care to nannies while he drowned in work. But that boy's selflessness cracked something inside him. The next morning, the sun pierced through the clouds, casting a hesitant glow over the city. Alex woke to the sound of his mother's gentle shaking, her hands calloused from years of labor. "Time for school, mijo," Maria whispered, her voice warm despite the fatigue, etching lines around her eyes. She was a single mother in her early 30s, with long black hair tied back in a practical ponytail and a smile that could light up the darkest room. Struggling to make ends meet after Alex's father abandoned them when he was a toddler, Maria worked double shifts at the diner, dreaming of a better life for her son. Alex didn't tell her about the sandwich. He knew it would worry her more. As he trudged to school, backpack slung over one shoulder, he passed the alley, remnants of the cardboard scattered by the wind. Meanwhile, Elias sat in his office atop Harrington Tower, a sleek monolith of glass and steel, barking orders into his phone, but his thoughts drifted to the boy. "Find him," he instructed his assistant, a command that set wheels in motion he couldn't yet fathom. Days blurred into a routine for Alex School, helping his mother at home, scavenging when needed. The city buzzed around him, honking cars, chatting pedestrians, the sizzle of street food vendors. One afternoon, as he kicked a pebble along the sidewalk, a black SUV pulled up beside him. A stern-faced driver stepped out. "Alex Rivera," the man asked. Alex froze, heart pounding. "Mr. Harrington would like to see you." Confusion washed over him like the previous rain. Who was Harrington? The ride to the tower was surreal. The leather seats soft against his worn clothes, the air conditioned and scented with faint lavender. Ascending in the elevator, floors whizzing by. Alex's mind raced. Was this about the sandwich? Had he done something wrong upon entering the penthouse office? Alex's eyes widened at the expanse, marble floors echoing his footsteps, walls lined with books and awards, a desk larger than his bed. Elias stood by the window, back turned. The city sprawled below like a toy set. "You shared your meal with me," Elias said without turning, his voice steady but laced with emotion. "Why?" Alex shrugged, fidgeting. "Because you looked sad and hungry." Elias turned, his face softer than in the alley, though still guarded. "That was my last meal too, in a way. I've been lost." He explained briefly his disguise during a breakdown, escaping the pressures of his world. Alex listened, wide-eyed, as Elias revealed his identity. "I want to repay you. What do you need?" Alex thought of his mother, their struggles. "Nothing, really, but maybe help my mom. She's always tired." That conversation sparked the change. Elias, moved by the boy's purity, began investigating Alex's life discreetly. What he uncovered would shatter assumptions and weave their fates together. But for now, in that office bathed in golden afternoon light, a bond formed a poor boy's generosity, thawing a billionaire's frozen heart. Elias Harrington's world was a stark contrast to the gritty streets Alex knew. Perched high above the city in Harrington Tower, his penthouse was a testament to unyielding success. Vast rooms with soaring ceilings, adorned with abstract art that cost more than most people's homes, and furniture crafted from exotic woods that gleamed under recessed lighting. The air hummed with the subtle whir of climate control, carrying hints of polished leather and fresh orchids arranged daily by staff. Yet, despite the opulence, an undercurrent of emptiness pervaded echoes in the hallways. Untouched grand piano in the corner, and windows that framed a lonely view of the bustling world below. Elias himself was a man forged in fire, tall and imposing at 45, with sharp features, silver-streaked dark hair, and piercing blue eyes that could command a room or conceal depths of sorrow. He was cold, a reputation earned through ruthless business deals that built his tech empire from nothing. But beneath the facade, misery festered. The loss of his wife, Clara, had left him a shell, prioritizing mergers over moments with his twin daughters, Sophia and Isabella. The girls, energetic 8-year-olds with their mother's curly blonde hair and his determined gaze, lived in a bubble of luxury. Their days were filled with private tutors and sunlit playrooms stocked with toys, swimming lessons in the indoor pool that shimmered like a sapphire, and bedtime stories read by nannies. Sophia was the bolder one, always questioning why Daddy worked so much, her laughter ringing like bells through the sterile halls. Isabella, quieter, found solace in drawing pictures of families' happy ones. Unlike their own, they sensed their father's distance, his hugs brief and mechanical, his presence a rarity amid board meetings. "When will Daddy play with us?" Sophia would ask the nanny, her voice small. The nanny, a rotating staff member, would smile sadly. "Soon, sweetie." But Elias's misery manifested in isolation, nights spent staring at old photos of Clara, the scent of her perfume long faded from the pillows, down in the city's underbelly. Maria Rivera's life was a relentless grind. Their apartment was a single room in a rundown building, walls thin enough to hear neighbors' arguments, the air thick with the scent of laundry detergent from below, and faint mildew from leaky pipes. Maria, with her warm olive skin and expressive eyes that held both exhaustion and unyielding love, juggled waitressing at Dino's Diner, a greasy spoon with checkered floors, sticky from spills, buzzing fluorescent lights, and the constant sizzle of frying burgers. She worked from dawn till dusk, her uniform stained with coffee, feet aching in worn sneakers. As a single mother, abandoned by Alex's father, who vanished after learning of the pregnancy, Maria's kindness shone through her struggles. She volunteered at the local shelter on off days, sharing what little she had, teaching Alex the value of empathy. "We may not have much, but we have each other," she'd say, her voice a soothing melody amid the chaos. Alex was the heart of their world, a bright, compassionate boy whose curiosity lit up their dim space. He helped with chores, folding laundry on their sagging couch while the TV flickered with old cartoons, the sound competing with street traffic outside. School was his escape, a public building with peeling paint and overcrowded classrooms, where he excelled in art and stories, dreaming of adventures beyond poverty. The contrast was palpable. While Elias dined on gourmet meals prepared by chefs, steak seared to perfection, wines aged in cellars, Maria and Alex subsisted on canned soup heated on a hot plate, the metallic tang lingering in the air. Elias's drivers navigated luxury cars through traffic, while Maria rode the bus, jostled by commuters, her bag heavy with leftovers for Alex. This divide deepened when Elias, compelled by Alex's act, delved deeper. He visited Dino's incognito one evening, the diner's bell jingling as he entered, the aroma of fried onions enveloping him. Maria served him coffee, her smile genuine despite the fatigue. "Rough day?" she asked, pouring the steaming liquid. Elias nodded, studying her, unaware she was the mother of the boy who had saved him from despair. "You have no idea," he replied, his voice softening. The interaction stirred something. Her kindness mirrored Alex's, a reminder of human warmth he'd forgotten. Meanwhile, the twins pestered their latest nanny, Elena, a kind but overworked woman in her 50s with graying hair and a patient demeanor. "Tell us about real kids," Isabella begged, as they sat in their playroom, toys scattered like forgotten treasures. Elena shared stories of street games, evoking envy in the girls. Elias overheard once, pausing in the doorway, the soft carpet muffling his steps. It gnawed at him, their isolation mirroring his own. As days passed, Elias's investigation revealed Maria's hardships, mounting medical bills from Alex's childhood asthma, threats of eviction. He felt a pull, a desire to bridge the chasm, but pride held him back. He was the billionaire, not the one needing help. Yet, Alex's face haunted him, the boy's laughter imagined in his silent home. Maria, unaware, confided in Alex over dinner, ramen noodles slurped from mismatched bowls. "Someday, things will get better," she promised, hugging him close, the scent of diner grease on her clothes. The settings intertwined subtly Elias's tower, overlooking the diner blocks away, a physical manifestation of the wealth-poverty gulf. Sensory details amplified the contrast, the crisp, conditioned air of luxury versus the humid, noisy streets, the taste of fine cuisine against simple, shared meals, the isolation of vast spaces versus the intimacy of cramped love. Characters embodied this Elias's cold power clashing with Maria's warm struggle, the twins' innocence paralleling Alex's resilience. Tension built as Elias contemplated action, his miserable heart thawing inch by inch. The seeds of conflict sprouted when Elias decided to intervene anonymously at first. He arranged for a charity donation to cover Maria's back rent, the check arriving in a plain envelope that she opened with trembling hands at their kitchen table, the wood scarred from years of use. "This can't be real," she whispered, tears welling as Alex watched, confusion knitting his brow. The money eased immediate pressures, but it bred suspicion. Who was this benefactor? Maria's boss at the diner mentioned rumors of a wealthy patron frequenting the place, eyeing her shifts. Elias's visits became more regular, disguised in casual clothes, but his demeanor polished even in pretense, drew glances. One night, as rain pattered against the diner's windows, fogging the glass, he ordered pie, the sweet cherry filling contrasting the bitter coffee. "You work hard," he commented to Maria. She nodded, wiping her hands on her apron. "For my boy, he's everything." Elias's heart twisted. He wanted to reveal himself, but feared rejection. Misunderstandings escalated. Alex, sensing change, questioned his mother. "Is someone helping us? Like that man I met?" Maria, protective, dismissed it. But whispers in the neighborhood fueled paranoia gangs, or loan sharks. The streets buzzed with tension, sirens wailing in the distance, shadows lengthening as dusk fell. Elias's own world cracked. His daughters noticed his distractions. "Daddy, you're always gone," Sophia complained during a rare dinner, the crystal chandelier casting prisms on the table laden with untouched salmon. Isabella drew a picture of a sad man in an alley, unwittingly depicting Elias's breakdown. He snapped, "Not now," his voice echoing in the vast dining room. Regret, immediate, as tears brimmed in their eyes. Hardships mounted for Maria. A kitchen accident at the diner, hot oil splashing. Burning her arm sent her to the ER. The sterile smell of antiseptic overwhelming. Beeps of machines underscoring her pain. Bills piled up again. Asthma inhalers for Alex running low. He skipped school to help. Scavenging more, the cold wind biting as he rummaged bins. Guilt weighing heavier than hunger. Injustice struck when the landlord, greedy despite the paid rent, threatened eviction over minor repairs. "Pay up or out," he barked, his breath reeking of cigarettes in the hallway lit by a flickering bulb. Elias faced internal turmoil. His business deals soured. A merger failed amid his distraction. Board members murmuring in sleek conference rooms with views of the lake, the water choppy like his thoughts. He confided in no one, pacing his office at night, the city lights twinkling mockingly, suspense built during a stormy evening when Alex, alone while Maria worked late, wandered the streets. He spotted Elias's SUV, recognizing the driver from before, heart racing. He followed, ducking behind cars, the rain slicking his hair. "Why are you watching us?" He confronted Elias in a shadowed park, benches wet and empty. Elias, caught off guard, hesitated. "I owe you," but Alex, frightened, ran, misunderstanding it as stalking. The conflict peaked in misunderstandings between characters. Maria, hearing from Alex, confronted the stranger at the diner. "Stay away from my son," she warned, her voice steady despite fear. The counter between them a barrier. Elias, hurt, left without explanation, his limo pulling away into traffic, honking impatiently. At home, the twins rebelled, subtly hiding from nannies, their giggles turning to sobs in hidden corners. Elias's misery deepened. He drank alone, the scotch burning his throat. Memories of Clara flooding back her laughter, now absent. Injustices layered Alex. Faced bullies at school over his sudden luck. Fists flying in the playground gravel, crunching under feet. Maria lost shifts due to injury. The diner's manager unsympathetic. Elias grappled with guilt, his power useless against emotional voids. Brief suspense arose when an anonymous note arrived at Maria's door. "I know your secret." Was it Elias? Or something darker? She clutched it, heart pounding in the quiet apartment, the clock ticking ominously. Tension remained high, characters clashing in unspoken ways, Elias's cold exterior cracking under empathy's weight, Maria's kindness tested by suspicion, the children caught in crossfires, the air thickened with unresolved questions, sensory details amplifying dread, the metallic taste of fear, distant thunder rumbling like impending doom, shadows dancing on walls from street lamps, dialogue sparse but poignant. "Why help us?" Maria asked a friend over tea, steam rising like unanswered prayers, the stage set for twists, the narrative pulsing with dramatic pacing as the veil of secrecy began to lift. Revelations cascaded like dominoes in the dim glow of unfolding truths. Elias, driven by insomnia, delved into Alex's background through private investigators. Their reports spread across his mahogany desk under the warm lamplight. What he uncovered shattered his world. Alex's father, long absent, was none other than Elias's estranged brother, Victor Harrington, who had fled the family fortune years ago after a bitter fallout. Victor had changed his name, lived recklessly, and abandoned Maria after a brief affair, never knowing about the child. The DNA match, confirmed by a discreet test from Alex's discarded cup at the diner, hit Elias like a thunderclap. The boy was his nephew. How could I not see it? Elias murmured to himself, the room spinning, the scent of aged paper from the files mingling with his rising panic. This twist explained the pull he felt. Blood tied them invisibly. Maria, meanwhile, received another anonymous package, a faded photo of Victor, young and smiling, with a note, he was family. Shaken, she confronted her past, memories flooding back their whirlwind romance in a seaside town, waves crashing like her breaking heart when he left. Why now? She whispered, tracing the image with a finger. Tears blurring the edges. Alex overheard, confusion mounting in their cramped living room. The TV droning ignored news. Mom, who's that? He asked, his voice small. She hugged him. The fabric of his shirt soft against her cheek. Someone from long ago, but the twist deepened her suspicion of Elias, whom she now linked to the notes. A second twist emerged when Elias visited Maria at the diner during a quiet afternoon shift, the sun slanting through windows, casting long shadows. I need to talk, he said, his hands clasped tightly, reluctantly. She sat, the vinyl booth creaking. He revealed the kinship, showing documents, the birth records, Victor's trail. Maria's face paled, the clatter of dishes in the background fading. You're lying, she accused, but doubt crept in. Elias explained Victor's death 2 years prior in a distant accident, unreported to her. Alex is my nephew. I want to help his family. Shockwaves rippled. Maria felt betrayed by fate, her struggles amplified by hidden heritage. Yet, a third twist blindsided them. The twins' nanny, Elena, confessed a secret, overhearing Elias's plans. She revealed in his study, bookshelves looming like witnesses, that she was Maria's long-lost aunt, separated by family feuds. Elena had taken the job years ago, hoping to glimpse the Harrington world, but recognized Maria from photos when Elias mentioned her. I saw the boy, my great-nephew, she admitted, voice trembling. This act of sacrifice, Elena had anonymously sent. The first donation from her savings wove another thread. Elias reeled, the air thick with revelations, the grandfather clock chiming ominously. Suspense heightened as betrayals surfaced. Alex, learning piecemeal, felt torn loyalty to his mother versus curiosity about this uncle. He snuck out one night, streets slick with recent rain, puddles reflecting neon signs, to meet Elias at a park bench. Is it true? He demanded. Wind rustling leaves. Elias nodded, but a misunderstanding arose. Alex thought Elias wanted custody, a betrayal of Maria. You can't take me, he shouted, running into the darkness. Heart pounding, Maria confronted Elena. The reunion bittersweet in Elena's modest apartment, scented with herbal tea. Why hide? Maria asked, hurt lacing her words. Elena explained fear of rejection, her sacrifice in silence. Twists maintained interest, each peeling layers hidden parents in Victor's legacy. Elena's quiet aid, Elias's unintended role, the narrative pulsed with empathy. Elias's misery turning to redemption. Maria's strength tested. Sensory immersion continued, the crisp snap of documents, bitter taste of unspoken truths, flickering lights, heightening drama. Dialogue authenticated. Family isn't just blood, it's choice. Elias reflected aloud, voice cracking. The twists didn't stop there. In a shocking betrayal, Elias discovered his assistant had been leaking information to rivals, using the Alex investigation as leverage. During a tense meeting in the boardroom, air-conditioned, chill-raising goosebumps, the assistant confessed under pressure. "I thought you'd gone soft." This internal sabotage threatened Elias's empire, linking back to his distractions. He fired the traitor, the door slamming, echoing his resolve. Maria faced her own twist, a letter from Victor's estate, hidden by lawyers, granting her a small inheritance she'd never claimed. Opening it in the laundromat's hum, steam fogging windows, she gasped the funds could change everything. But pride warred with need. Alex, grappling, shared with school friends, their playground chatter turning serious under swinging chains, creaking, but a friend's jealousy led to a rumor mill, amplifying misunderstandings. These layers built suspense, characters evolving amid chaos. The climax erupted on a crisp winter evening, snowflakes drifting lazily under street lamps, blanketing the city in a deceptive peace. Elias, determined to unite the fractured family, invited Maria and Alex to his penthouse for a talk. The elevator ride up was a silent torture for Maria, her hand gripping Alex's tightly, the mirrored walls reflecting their anxious faces. The doors opened to warmth, the scent of roasting turkey from a prepared meal, fire crackling in the hearth, casting dancing shadows. The twins, Sophia and Isabella, peeked from behind Elena, now revealed as kin, their eyes wide with curiosity. "Are you our cousins?" Sophia asked boldly, her voice echoing in the vast space, but tension simmered. Maria, still wary, confronted Elias. "You think money fixes everything?" she demanded, voice rising over the soft classical music playing. Elias, vulnerable, admitted his breakdown, the alley encounter, a cry for help after a near collapse from grief. "I was lost without Clara. Your son's kindness saved me." Tears glistened in his eyes, the powerful man crumbling. Alex, torn, stepped forward. "Mom, he's family." The turning point intensified when Isabella, playing near the balcony doors, slipped on the polished floor, tumbling toward the open edge, the guardrail loose from recent repairs unnoticed. "Izzy!" Sophia screamed, the sound piercing like shattering glass. Time slowed, snow swirling outside, wind howling through the cracked door. Maria, instincts kicking in, lunged, grabbing Isabella's arm just as she teetered, pulling her back with a strength born of motherhood, but the momentum sent Maria crashing against the railing, a sickening crack as it gave way slightly, her body dangling precariously over the abyss, 50 stories up. "Mom!" Alex yelled, heart stopping, the cold air rushing in. Elias reacted instantly, grasping Maria's wrist, his muscles straining, veins bulging. "Hold on," he shouted, voice raw with fear. The twins sobbed, Elena rushing to them, the room a cacophony of cries and wind. Alex helped, small hands pulling, the floor slick with tracked snow. Emotions surged Elias's mental. Breakdown peaked. Flashes of Clara's accident haunting him. Tires screeching, metal twisting. "Not again," he whispered, tears streaming, his cold facade shattering completely. Maria, hanging by threads, looked up. "Save the kids first," she gasped, sacrificing even in peril, her kindness unwavering. Suspense gripped as the railing groaned, metal bending. "I can't lose you too," Elias confessed, pulling harder, his misery transforming to desperate love for this newfound family. With a final heave, aided by arriving security, alerted by screams, they hauled her back, collapsing in a heap, breaths ragged, the air thick with relief and snow's chill. Maria hugged Alex and the twins, who clung to her, their small bodies trembling. "You're a hero," Isabella whispered, snot-nosed and grateful. The emotional language overflowed hearts, pounding like war drums, tears hot on cheeks, the taste of fear metallic. Dialogue punctuated. "Why risk yourself?" Elias asked later, bandaging her scrapes in the bathroom's bright light. "Because they're children, like mine," Maria replied, voice soft, forging understanding. This dramatic point shifted everything. Elias's breakdown, leading to openness. Maria's sacrifice earning trust. Children in danger uniting them. Pacing dramatic. Empathy deep. Sensory vivid fires warmth, contrasting outer cold. Sobs echoing. The aftermath. Immediate paramedics arrived. Sirens wailing below. Checking for injuries in the opulent living room. Blankets wrapped around shivering forms. Elias paced. Breakdown full, kneeling. Confessing years of isolation. "I've been a fool, hiding behind walls." Maria, bruised but alive, touched his shoulder. "We all have pain." Alex comforted the twins, sharing stories of street adventures, their laughter tentative amid tears. Elena mediated, her own secrets healed. The climax's emotion lingered, a turning point of raw humanity. In the wake of the near tragedy, bonds solidified like forged steel. Elias, his heart softened, invited Maria and Alex to stay temporarily in the penthouse guest wing. The rooms cozy with plush bedding and views of the now serene city lights twinkling like stars. Maria hesitated but accepted for Alex's sake. The transition marked by shared meals around the grand table, laughter replacing silence. The scent of fresh-baked cookies from Elena's recipes filled the air, a symbol of family warmth. Elias underwent therapy, his cold demeanor melting. He played with the children in the playroom, toys clattering, his deep chuckles a new sound. "Teach me that game," he asked Alex, who demonstrated with patience. The boy's resilience inspiring, character growth bloomed. Elias honored Maria by offering her a position managing his charity foundation, her kindness perfect for aiding the underprivileged. "You've struggled enough," he said over coffee, steam curling. She accepted, empowered, no longer just surviving. Alex thrived in a better school, his art displayed on walls, the twins becoming like siblings' picnics in the park, grass tickling feet, kites soaring in blue skies. The family reunited fully when Elena moved in, her stories bridging generations, heartwarming moments, a birthday party for the twins, candles flickering, wishes whispered. Elias proposed a foundation in Clara's name, funding shelters like those Maria volunteered at. "Your act changed me," he told Alex, hugging him, the boy's small frame against his. Redemption culminated in a quiet ceremony adopting Alex legally as part of the family. Courtroom hushed, papers signed with steady hands. Maria found love again, subtly with Elias, their shared glances evolving to tender touches, hope blooming. The finale ended on a balcony sunset, city hues painting the sky, wind gentle. "We started with a meal shared in rain," Elias reflected, "and found humanity." Laughter echoed, love prevailing, a testament to kindness's ripple. Months passed, seasons changing, spring blossoms scenting air. Elias sold parts of his empire, prioritizing life over power. Family vacations, beach waves crashing, sandcastles built together, Maria's diner friends visited, bridging worlds. Alex's asthma managed with top care. He dreamed big. Twins adored him. Brother Alex, their call. Hope infused Elias, spoke publicly on empathy, inspiring others. The story, a vivid real-life tale, ended with unity, love triumphing,